Hey, what's up? It's Valar. Hope everybody is doing awesome. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Today is going to be a champion spotlight on Farkin Fat, or if anybody's ever seen Johnny Dangerously, you Fargan Ice Holes. I mean, now I'm really dating myself. That's like way back in the 80s. But that is a really good movie with Michael Keaton in it. Go watch it because even today it would be worth a good laugh. So if you've never seen it and you're a youngin', because it's very possible you've never seen it, Johnny Dangerously. But I'm on my boy Sentry's account today. He pulled some of the 10X heroes, which was actually a pretty good 10X. These 10Xs for the new champions, I kind of like going after them because, you're targeting them. Anyway, I helped him build this Fahrakin the Fat, which is pretty funny. Farkin Fat. But this guy looks like me with my shirt off actually right now. A big beer gut, kind of some moobs right there. So I do have a little more hair, actually. I can get the Corona fro growing again. This guy has a heck of a lot less hair, but I choose to keep my hair short. Anyway, he is actually a super cool champion. I like this brand, this flaming brand he's got there. Looks like he's like I guess it does sort of look like he's their cattle steer or something, or their horse steer or something. He's got to brand their freaking mounts. And he's got the whip right there, too. So he's some sort of animal tamer, I would guess, right? If you look at him, some sort of barbarian animal tamer. Pretty cool looking hero. Pretty cool aesthetics on him as well. Let's look at the total stats I got. The guy is actually a god as far as an epic goes. I feel like in this particular patch, the legendaries are kind of average with Roxam and what's the other guy? King Garag. They're okay, right? They're not like horrible by any means, but they're not like amazing. You would think that they would be, but they're not like just god tier amazing. Decent, but the epics, they put out some god tier epics in this one. These epics are legendaries, basically. This guy is a legendary in an epic skin, actually, for sure, 100%. Now, this isn't the best build I can get. It's a decent build I can get away with the gear we have to work with here. So we're going to run him in a unkillable comp. His accuracy is a little bit too low, I'll admit, but 222. We'll go with that. And we are on a Magic Affinity Clan boss for today. So it's going to show him in kind of a, gimped comp a little bit. 28,000 HP. His attack is 3,000. His damage is based off attack. So if you had better gear, I would actually pump this. And I'm not saying that Sentry doesn't have better gear. I didn't go in and hardcore min-max it, to be honest. I just wanted to see with a solid build that I think most people could achieve, what would he do, right? So 220 speed. And I felt like I didn't want to build him with a 100% crit rate because of how his kit works. So I did the 83% to try to pump a little more crit damage, 230% crit damage. If you weren't going to use him in Clan Boss, I'm going to show the Masters, you could use Helm Smasher on him or the extra crit damage because of how his kit works. We'll go through that too. But I kind of have a very standard mastery setup here with War Master and the other stuff going down the accuracy tree to get him a little bit of accuracy and stuff that would have him help his debuffs be placed and potentially get him a couple extra procs by extending the debuff. So nothing too exotic by any means right there. It's pretty straightforward, actually. Sizzling Strike, his A1, it's a one-hitter with a 50% chance when booked to do the decreased defense for 2 turns. But he's going to get to proc that more than just once because of his A3. But we'll look at that in a second. His A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. And I do want to say, if you get this guy, absolutely fully book him. He does take a lot of books. Like there's 4 right there. There's 6 right there. So we're up to 10 already. And there's 12 right there. Sounds crazy to say that 12 for the patches they've released recently. It's still too many books, but it's better than 16 and 17 like we've been looking at before. So he's not the highest amount of books needed, and I would say the books are actually valuable on every single one of his skills. So go ahead and book them, is my opinion for that. That is what I would do if I was building him. And this is actually a 100% chance of doing the HP burn and 2 poisons for 2 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. So kind of cool. I'm not 100% sure. He may be the only one that has this, where he's got HP burn and poison in the same ability. I think he's the only one that does that. I don't 100% know for sure. Let me know in the comments below if somebody else does it. They may do it, but on 2 separate abilities. This guy does them combined in 1 ability. So it's kind of another home run on the, like, new champions are actually worth it to build. And or in a sense, depending on what you're using, replace some of the old stuff too, right? It actually makes it a little more interesting when they have better new champions come out. I do admit, I actually like that. I mean, I pull shards, do all that stuff. So it's kind of nice to get new stuff that is actually useful and fun to play with. Now, this makes him absolutely insane as well. So if you think about this guy's kit, right, he's got this A3 here. Now, it's a 4-turn cooldown when booked, 30% increased crit rate, 30% increased crit damage on all allies except him for 3 turns, which is, I should have built him with 100% crit rate. So that was actually, I will admit, you can bash me in the comments with this. I should have built him with 100% crit rate. I understand, I know, I just misread the skill, okay? Then all allies except this champion will attack one target enemy. And again, I was saying about how his kit works. He doesn't do the attack, but the rest of the champions do, right? So anyway, that's how it reads there. We're going to go through it in Clan Boss and see. We're going to run him in Fire Knight, maybe Arena as well. I would actually say this guy is pretty much God tier everywhere. The other place I might not use him is like Dragon, just because it's a negative affinity. And there's better options to a degree for just pure Dragon, even though he'd be great there as well. He's got the decreased defense, the HP burn, the poison. That's going to be good for every single dungeon. And maybe Spider, I wouldn't run him there either, actually. Although he is decreased defense, I just don't know if he's going to provide you with the correct setup you need there. But definitely Ice Golem, 100% in Fire Knight. Doom Tower, he's probably good as well. This ally attack stuff is really cool. So he is a debuffer galore mixed in one with an ally attack. So he's filling 2 roles. That's another thing that I'm kind of impressed by how these champions have done. These new champions they've done with, like Ursula, who I'll put the link to her guide up here as well, or Ursula. I don't know. The way they spelled it, I'm saying it Ursula. It's probably Ursula, but I'm not. Who cares, right? So I'll put the guide up here for her. She actually is really cool too, but they kind of combine synergies in their kits where they're making them as useful as 2 separate champions before. So that is kind of cool, right? This one actually ally attack plus all the debuffing he's getting. That is unique. And the other part I didn't even finish is he deflects 20% of all the incoming damage that he receives onto all allies. And the damage is spread equally across all allies. That's a little bit different. I mean, it kind of makes him more survivable. But it's interesting, and nonetheless, it doesn't matter in an unkillable setup, and that's actually how we're going to run it in an unkillable setup. And then I showed the total stats, but let's actually look at the gear. Here's an accuracy banner right here with speed on it, crit damage, a little bit of accuracy, attack with double attack rolls, speed boots. I kind of just used what he had type of thing, right? Attack percent. So none of this is like insane god gear. We're using rare pieces that had meh rolls for the most part to get to where we're at, right? Attack percent chest piece with some speed HP. Crit damage gloves. I went with the crit damage gloves with crit rate. I probably should pump his crit rate up a little bit more, but that is okay. He's almost where he needs to be. But if you're going to build him with 100% crit rate, I will admit I made a mistake there, and I'm just going to leave it here to show it because I just want to showcase him with this build as well. So anyway, crit rate, speed, resistance, crit damage. All right, you can see this. Like, none of these are great god tier pieces. They all have decent rolls, but they're kind of rolling all over the place, right? This is actually a really good piece with double crit rate and double speed on a divine speed piece, but I'm using it in a broken set, so we're not actually getting any bonus on the speed part there because I was trying to get him the accuracy, to pump up his accuracy a little bit more there too. So let's actually show him a little bit in, Fire Knight, and then we'll go through a couple clan boss runs. I'm not going to go through the entire clan boss run because that would take like 20 minutes. Now, this isn't going to improve his team by any means, most likely here. So we'll actually see what we're going to do. All right, I don't know that I would run this with, switching out a Septimus and all that stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway to switch us, see what actually happens here and everything. So we will go through here. On the waves, he's actually going to be good for the ally attack stuff, right? So there you saw it right there, actually proc on the ally attacks. So that's pretty cool. I'm not going to sit here through the both waves. Well, that was a pretty strong hit he did right there, too, if you noticed. I don't think there was a decreased defense or a weaken up, and he just popped for 80,000 on that hit. That was actually pretty damn cool. 22,000. That was a one that places the decreased defense right there. But man, yeah, he placed the decreased defense, so he is a pretty good hitter. Let's actually watch this wave a little bit, and then I'm going to bring it back in when we hit to the Fire Knight. Okay, here's the beatdown again. I kind of like the skill name is just called Beatdown too, right? Because he's bringing in the beatdown with everybody else. I think this will be actually 39,000. Okay, so he's hitting pretty decently. All right, we're gonna wait and bring it back in at the Fire. I decided to bring it back in kind of at the end of the second wave here when these two leeches are up, or Lich, or whatever his name is. His A1 is actually the one that's proccing pretty good hits, even without the decreased defense. And it's the one that places the decreased defense as well. But I also kind of thought, when we get to the Fire Knight, this breakdown ability, is actually going to be humongous because it will get all the other teams. So we're going to get all the multi-hits from everybody once that procs and pretty much just bring the shield right down, which is amazing, actually. So here we go right now. I don't know if it's off cooldown or not, but we'll find out pretty quickly here. It is not off cooldown just yet. But there we go. Okay. And no, not quite yet. Okay. The next round, I think it'll be off cooldown here. I don't know if we're going to get to see it with the shield up or not. We'll find. Okay, we are going to get to see it with the shield up right here. So I'm actually kind of glad we're going to get to see it with the shield up right here. Let's see what happens. Can he just bring the shield down? Right there. Brings the shield down with one proc of that beatdown. So he actually is a Fire Knight God in that case. So bring him in. Any ally attack would really help you out, but he's a positive affinity. Most of the ally attacks I think we have are almost all magic affinity, if I'm correct, right? So this guy's actually the strong affinity versus this entire dungeon. And we're not going in a speed run right here or anything. We're at 3 minutes, so it's not like we're at some amazing speed on this. However, this is just what we had to work with right now, and I just kind of threw him in there, right? You could actually spend a little bit more time looking at what the setup would be, because maybe it's not optimal to run him in this type of a setup, although I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I think it's actually a pretty good setup. So, but we're running at 3 minutes there. Not horrible by any means, but not a 1 minute run or a sub 1 minute run or anything like that. So after this, we are going to run him in the clan boss, kind of see what he does there. All right, cool. So what was his damage? 682. That's pretty good, actually. 682. Rosin did 610. Coldheart obviously did the most there. So we'll sell those for him. All right. Alrighty. So that was pretty cool. All right, so we're going to see him in Arena for a little bit here. We're going to see if he actually works. He's going to be a great ally attack in Arena, right? And he uses that on the AI first, I want to say, as well. So that is good to run him like a blender comp too. This guy has long beard, so this is actually a downgrade for him, I feel like. But we're going to showcase him here anyway in this one arena battle. And I'm just going to run it on auto and kind of see what the AI does with him. So, boom! He works just fine. Okay. So for a blender comp, he is good, right? So it depends on who you go up against and everything too. But hey, he works. So go for it. Build him in a blender comp if you want to. I think Longbeard's probably better because he comes in with himself as well and he pumps the damage by 20%. But this guy actually makes it so that you get more crit damage too. So there's an argument both ways there. My opinion would be Longbeard's better, but I actually think this guy is very useful and very good to be your blender comp ally attack hero as well. So we did Fire Knight, we did Arena. Now we're going to showcase him in Clan Boss, Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss. I will not show the whole run. We'll start here, and unfortunately, like I said, it's a magic affinity. He runs Draco normally with the Batman Eater. Like half my clan is running right now, including myself. Okay, so, but anyway, so we're going to go in here and just use Fahrakin Fat. I'm not even going to call him Fahrakin. I'm just calling him Fahrakin Fat because they obviously meant that when they built this guy. Thank you, Aurelius, for pointing that out as well. So we're actually we'll actually go in here and see what he does, and then we'll kind of call it a video. I'm gonna do the setup on this. Whoa, shit. Okay, that was the right ability actually. Sorry. All right. I slid the mouse there and it messed things up. All right, so now we'll just auto, and I think he's going to come in, like I said, with the ally attack. He is first. So he's still going to work, which is cool. He's at 220 speed. The rest of the stuff is just the normal speed to him for this. You can throw him in here at 220 speed, and he will work, actually. At least when I've tested him before this, I ran a couple tests on it. It worked, which is very, very satisfying. And he actually placed the HP burn on the poison. So he does his A3 and his A2, and then obviously his A1. So if he has anything off the cooldown, there we go. We got the HP burn, the poison, and the decreased defense up, even though it is the wrong affinity for us. And he leads with the ally attack. So I'll just come in at the end once this is gone, the full 50 turn cycling, so you can actually see what he does as the damage numbers are, and then we'll just call it a video. Before I do that, don't forget like and subscribe. All right, so we got about 5 turns left. We're well within 2 key range on this, and that's at negative affinity as well, so that's actually pretty cool. He can obviously work, well, this team can work on any affinity, but even he can help 2 key. Right here, it's the beat down here, so it's pretty cool. I'm going to run on 1x just to show, hopefully, I know it's going to go a little bit slow right now for this, but I think there's a really cool animation for his brand ability. And it's kind of cool that it is called the brand because it actually gets the HP burn. Okay, a couple technical errors there. We actually are going to run it on 1x. So the brand of shame ability, if it works, it's a pretty cool animation. So the beat down here, it's very, very slight. So it's not going to be like mind-blowing. But I think it's kind of cool. Brand of shame does the HP burn, which is really cool, plus the poison. So cool name for the skill that it does that. So hopefully I put it on 1x, and I think it's coming up now. I could be wrong, but I believe it's either the next one or the very next turn after this. Here it is, Brand of Shame. Okay, there you saw the brand shows up. It didn't work. We got resisted, but the actual little brand shows up. I don't know. I just find it uniquely satisfying, again. So that part's actually pretty cool. Now we'll just run it on 2x to get run the clock out on this. And then I'll call it a video. So if you made it this far, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you found the content useful or you want to see more stuff, because it really does help grow the channel as well. I say this every video or most videos, but I am trying to grow this thing to 10,000 subs by the end of the year. I need your help to do that, and I can't do it without you. So make sure you just check. If you're not subscribed and you watch the video, go ahead and subscribe. That's it. It's free for you to do it. No big deal. You don't have to turn on notifications or anything unless you absolutely want to, because I don't want to annoy you with that stuff. But if you want to, go ahead. So anyway, I'm going to end it right there. 40.26 million. This guy did a pretty significant amount of damage, almost 11 million, on a negative affinity clan boss. So that is actually really cool. We did 40 million, well within the 2 key range. You could min-max a heck of a lot better with him, I feel like, to get even more damage out of him. I just showed the gear at a level that I felt like was going to be more realistic for more people to achieve. It's not the most amazing gear. It's not the worst gear. It's kind of a decent blend of like average to decent gear, right? So thank you so much again. I really appreciate all the support we've been getting recently. The channel is actually doing quite well, so I want to thank everybody for that. And I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to keep pumping it out. I want to keep going. And let me know in the comments if you want me to actually have more community engagement too, because the only thing I really do, if you made it this far, do me a favor too. Go ahead and let me know in the comments. I haven't really invested in my Discord at all, so I'm going to throw that out there. I want to actually see if it would be worth it to go ahead and do it, because if people want to be actively involved in the Discord to talk with each other and everything too, then I'm going to put a lot of work into putting that out too, so we can actually get a community growing with people. I'm in Sin Clan Cluster. They're a great clan cluster and everything too, but I want to see if people want to come and just be in a Discord where the main thing is you follow my channel and you like to hang out with other people that do. So let me know in the comments. Again, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Cheers.